All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Arbuckle. I am the Executive Director for AMCTO. I'll be your host for today. I'm also pleased to be joined by Jean-Philippe Valois. He's the Senior Advisor, Major Accounts for Municipalities for MITAX, and we'll hear from him a little bit later. We, along with our partners MITAX, are very excited to provide you with information today about the AMCTO, a MITAX Municipal Innovation Internship Program, or MIIP for short. Before we get started, I would like to provide a few sort of housekeeping reminders. This presentation is being recorded. A copy of the slides will be sent out to the participants after this call and posted along with the recording on the MIIP landing page. Microphone and videos have been disabled for the purposes of this webinar. However, we do welcome participants to pose questions in the Q&A box, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We have plenty of time at the end for Q&A, so as we want to support you as best we can, AMCTO and MITAX want to ensure that you have a seamless application experience so that the sector can put forward its best and brightest innovation and research project ideas. If you're having technical difficulties at any point during the webinar, please use the chat function and a member of the AMCTO staff will assist you. To kick us off today, I would like to introduce Paul Shipway, Manager of Strategic Initiatives with Middlesex County and current AMCTO President, to bring us greetings. Paul?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the AMCTO board and staff, I want to thank the team at MITAX for their collaboration in making this exciting new initiative a reality. This is something our members and the municipal sector has been asking for since the ending of the former municipal internship program that was partially funded by the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Through this new Municipal Innovation Internship Program and our partnership with MITAX, we look forward to connecting municipalities in Ontario with the talent that can help them address some of their most pressing challenges, and we look forward to creating increased connections between the post-secondary population and local governments to assist with the broader recruitment challenges within the sector. The first iteration of the Municipal Internship Program played a pivotal role in shaping the careers of many municipal professionals. I've had the privilege of working alongside former interns who took part in that program, individuals who started their municipal journeys through those placements and have since risen to leadership positions across the province. Many of them are now municipal CAOs, directors, and policy leaders actively shaping the future of local government. Their experiences in that program weren't just about learning the technical aspects of municipal administration. They were about discovering the real-world impact that municipalities have on people's daily lives. The relationships they built, the mentorship they received, and the challenges they tackled provided a foundation that has carried through their careers. Through this new Municipal Innovation Internship Program and our partnership with MITAX, we now have the opportunity to build on that legacy, to once again connect municipalities with emerging talent and provide post-secondary students with firsthand experience in local government. At a time when recruitment remains a challenge for many municipalities, this program will help bridge the gap, ensuring a strong pipeline of future municipal leaders. As Ontario's largest volunteer association for municipal professionals, AMCTO is proud to play a role in fostering the next generation of local government professionals, and I would like to thank Dave Arbuckle and the AMCTO team for their leadership and relentless efforts towards developing and implementing this program. I encourage everyone to read through the program guide and to pass information on about the program to other colleagues and municipalities you know who may be interested in participating. With that said, I'll now turn it over to Dave to go over the agenda for today. Thanks, Dave.
Great, thanks, Paul. Well said as always. So we'll use the first half of this webinar to introduce the key facets of this new MIIP program. These include the goals and outcomes and benefits of the program's project eligibility requirements, the three-phased application process and key deadlines, and how the projects are ultimately selected and funded by MITAX. As you will see from this slide, there is a hyperlink to the 2025-2026 application guide, which is posted on the MIIP landing page. We will not be subjecting you to a line-by-line reading of the guide. However, we strongly encourage you to have it open in another window, as we will be referring to it periodically throughout the webinar. After the presentation, we will answer questions that have come in through the Q&A box. We will wrap up by highlighting some of the key deadlines and how to contact AMCTO and MITAX if you require any additional information. So as Paul mentioned, we know that employee recruitment and retention is a major concern for municipal governments. According to the municipal workforce development work underway at AMO, Ontario's municipalities rely on over 235,000 employees from a variety of professions and fields to build and maintain local infrastructure and deliver local services that Ontarians rely on every day. This issue has also been highlighted and discussed extensively in Strategy Corp's 2024 CAO survey. As that report states, most leaders, senior leaders, and HR professionals know what needs to be done. The challenge is building the capacity and is capacity and building it and doing it and building it into our process. So this program is exactly the type of HR capacity that this partnership is trying to build for municipalities. The goal of the MIIP is to support and develop, support the development of the next generation of staff leadership in the Ontario municipal sector while encouraging innovation in local government. I'm personally excited about this opportunity and this program has launched. And, I'm optimistic that we can demonstrate the absolute need for this program to continue in the future. So as many of you are aware, and as Paul indicated, the AMCTO did have a previous municipal management internship program that ran successfully until 2015. Despite evidence of the value of that program, the province cut the funding for the program, essentially ending it in its tracks. Since that time, while municipalities, especially larger ones, have participated with academia in co-op or project-based learning, there has been a major gap or void in this area for some time. As Ontario's largest and most diverse volunteer association for municipal professionals, our members and our board feel that it is our obligation to fill that void and seek opportunities to nurture the next generation of local government professionals. Creating more connection between municipalities and research institutions is also very important, which leads me to introducing Jean-Philippe Valois, Senior Advisor, Major Accounts Municipalities from MITAX, just to introduce himself and talk a little bit about MITAX involvement in the MIIP. JP?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate it. And thank you for the invitation to say a few words about MITAX. Hello, everyone. My name is Jean-Philippe, and we're very excited to support this initiative. I'm part of a team of advisors at MITAX. I work closely with municipalities and other organizations across Canada. And really, I want to thank you for being here today and for your interest in this program and the initiative. For those of you who might not know about MITAX, we're a national government-funded nonprofit organization that's been around for 25 years. And during that time, we've helped organizations solve complex challenges and address difficult questions. It's really at the core of our mandate. What we do is we make connections with top research talent and we fund special projects. We work across industries and sectors from technology and manufacturing to natural resources and, of course, municipalities. Maybe the best way we can put it is we run programs that provide funding and access to highly skilled researchers, whether from universities, colleges, or polytechnics, to really help solve real-world challenges, whether it's about environmental sustainability, public health, digital transformation, implementing AI, or economic development strategies. We support projects that hopefully will drive impact and bring about transformational change for your organization and for Canada. While this initiative today is targeted to municipalities, we can also work, well, we've historically mostly work with private corporations and nonprofits, as well as more recently, hospitals. Our objective is really to make innovation more accessible to organizations across Canada while training the next generation of innovators. We're happy for the opportunity to work with you and the AMCTO on this initiative, and we look forward to future collaborations. On this, I'll pass it back to Dave.
Great. Thanks, JP. So at the end of the day, there's really are two major benefits for municipalities that participate in this program. First, it is a cost-effective resource by the way of the student intern to help identify, advance, improve, and or solve important innovation and other research challenges facing the community or communities. And second is succession planning support at the senior municipal staff level by identifying post-secondary students that have relevant experience and or desire to work in local government. This infographic outlines the program's timelines in its entirety from March 7th, 2025, when we launched the program, to August 31st, 2026, when the internships are completed. The details of each application phase can be found on page 9 of the application guide and is also linked on the landing page. Ultimately, the MIIP provides 20 post-secondary students studying in Ontario with paid part-time internship positions. Note that the term part-time is mentioned as less than 30 hours per week in the guide. However, the exact number will vary based on the role and job responsibilities. As such, the exact hours are to be determined by the municipality in collaboration with the student prior to the internship starting. These positions are filled by AMCTO matching municipalities that have had their innovation and or research project applications evaluated and approved with post-secondary students that have expressed an interest in working on that municipality's project through their own application and evaluation process, or phase 2. The matching itself will be done by AMCTO's review committee. The projects are ultimately funded by MITAX through the third phase of the process, which is the MITAX application, MITAX funding application. This funding application will be submitted jointly by the academic student in close collaboration with their academic supervisor and the lead municipality for each of the 23 matched projects that were approved to move on by AMCTO. To limit the amount of additional work that is needed in phase 3, best efforts have been made to ensure that all information required by MITAX is collected during the municipal application form in phase 1, which is live now, and the student application form in phase 2, which is coming in May. But more on that will come in the following slides. The internship will run for 8 months between January and August of 2026. Each of the 20 students will be paid a research stipend of $30,000. This leverages $15,000 in funding from the municipality leading the project application and $15,000 in matched funding from MITAX. This funding will be paid via the student's academic institution. The student's academic supervisor has been identified identified by the student in the second application phase, will ensure that the student is paid by the academic institution. And just so we're clear right up front, the student is not a municipal employee in this model. As you will see from the infographic, the program is currently set up as a 1-year agreement. In order to demonstrate proof of concept, it is critical that this program attracts both a high level of interest by municipalities like yourselves that can offer unique innovation and or research project opportunities with an experiential learning component. Also a strong caliber of academic students from both colleges and universities that are registered or enrolled as full-time students in an undergraduate, college, master's, or PhD program at a publicly funded academic institution in Ontario for the duration of the internship, can clearly demonstrate their interest in local government as a career and are legally permitted to reside and work in Canada by the award start date and live in Ontario for the duration of the internship. With program eligibility, so any Ontario municipality and post-secondary student studying in Ontario that meets the program eligibility criteria set out in the application guide is encouraged to apply. The projects must be either innovation-based, which, for example, introduces something new to the local government, but not necessarily to the world, or research-based. It advances the process of creating ideas, processes, technologies, services, or techniques that are new to the world. There also must be an experiential learning opportunity component to the internship This will help ensure that the student is exposed to various aspects of municipal governance and operations. You will be asked to describe how this will be integrated in the municipal application. Each municipality is welcome to submit a maximum of 2 applications, of which they will be the lead on. By this, I mean that while several municipalities can jointly fund the project, there must be one municipality identified as the lead that can take responsibility to supervise and to provide the experiential learning opportunity for the student. If the municipality wants to submit 2 different projects, they must submit separately through 2 municipal application forms and ranked by preference. This is important because the MIIP is intended to provide a variety of different projects across as many municipalities as possible. Therefore, only one project per municipality will move forward to the final application round. To be eligible for the program, projects must propose to advance the modernization of the local government's programs and services and have outcomes that could benefit the municipality, be feasible to be completed through a hybrid work arrangement within 8 months. So again, January 1st to August 31st, 2026. So this includes a maximum of 4 in-person visits by the student to the municipality. So it is a hybrid arrangement, but we are encouraging students to visit the municipality. Be appropriate for the student to complete with support from the municipal team, and be a municipal lead contact identified who will be responsible for managing and interacting with the student. There are respective requirements for the post-secondary students as well, which can be found on page 6 of the guide. Finally, please note that there are rules under existing and previous municipal employment and conflict of interest on page 7 of the guide. More information on this will be made available in the student application form, which will be available in late May. So we strongly encourage you and your teams to read which types of projects are eligible for this program. To start, we've listed the overall categories, which you can see on page 5 and 6 of the guide of the projects. So things like comprehensive reviews and audits, corporate strategic plans, roadmaps, and master plans, efficiency and optimization reviews, feasibility and system reviews, modernization reviews and streamlining, service delivery and operational reviews, and system implementation, integration, and improvement. So those are some examples that we wanted to provide. Appendix A lists more really specific examples of potential eligible municipal projects by type. This is on page 14 to 16. And these include, or are not limited to, activities in things like diversity, equity, and inclusion and social well-being, housing and urban development, which is always a popular topic in municipalities these days, sustainability and climate adaptation, waste management and circular economy, infrastructure, mobility and transportation, public health and safety, water and natural resource management, economic development and tourism, and more. So again, the key piece here is to identify projects within these topics that can be reasonably completed within 8 months. So municipalities that may have ideas that fall outside of these activities are encouraged to contact us by email at amcto@amcto.com with details, as soon as possible, so that we can provide you with some advice in relation to eligibility. The program's funding mechanism details are listed on page 8 of the guide. At a high level, the MIIP leverages co-funding from the lead municipality that is applying and MyTax to provide a research stipend to the selected student. A breakdown of the project contributions is shown in the table. AMCTO will invoice the municipality for their contribution once the student has been selected by the AMCTO review committee and has been confirmed to their project prior to submission of the MyTax funding application, which is phase 3. The municipality is required to arrange payment to AMCTO as the recipient of the contribution is necessary for AMCTO to provide final sign-off on the MyTax funding application. Should any municipal project not be approved by MyTax, funds will be returned to the individual municipalities by AMCTO. The total project funding will flow to the academic institution at which the student named to the MIIP project is registered. All project funding will be allocated to the student as a stipend to be administered via the standard process student work placement defined by the academic institutions. And if you have any sort of questions regarding that, obviously JP is on the line as well, and he can provide some advice. We strongly encourage you to consult the municipal application form well ahead of the deadline and to stay in contact with AMCTO. Proposals will be reviewed by AMCTO and MITACs. Any information or responses contained in the application will be shared with both organizations for this purpose. Note that if the project is successful in moving to phase 2, the name of the municipality and the content of your project application will be posted publicly on the AMCTO website for students to view. A reminder that municipal projects or the phase 1 applications are due by May 9th, 2025 at noon. AMCTO will convene an MIIP review committee, which actually be made up of myself as well as the AMCTO management committee, which is made up of our president, immediate past president, vice president, as well as 2 other board members that will, with the support of the AMCTO staff, review all student applications and identify student matches for each of the municipal project applications. AMCTO will notify the successfully matched project teams and facilitate an introduction of the project partners, the student, their academic supervisor, and lead municipality for the purposes of providing instructions on how to proceed to phase 3. As part of this step, the lead municipality and the student will be expected to meet remotely to ensure that all parties are aware of their respective roles in putting the funding application together. All municipalities and students who submitted eligible projects, regardless if they are approved by AMCTO, the AMCTO committee or not, will be notified by AMCTO as to the status of their application. Please note that the MIIP is a competitive opportunity with limited funding. Projects will be assessed against program criteria by the AMCTO MIIP review committee. Only projects with the highest alignment with program criteria will be selected to proceed to phase 3. Phase 2 applications will be due by July 25th, 2025. So those are from the students at noon. A webinar has also been scheduled in June for students and academic institutions to provide them with additional information. Successful project teams will be invited to submit a MITACs funding application in phase 3. That will be in the fall of 2025. Applicants will be invited to submit an application to one of 2 MITACs programs. Accelerate, which is for research projects, and Business Strategy Internship, which is for innovation projects. We encourage you to take a look at these links as well as to familiarize yourself with those programs. The applicants will then be connected with the MITACs advisor for the participating academic institution. This advisor will help direct the applicants to relevant contacts and processes for their institutions. All project partners will have actions to take in completing and compiling the funding application. All partners will be required to sign the project memorandum prior to submission. AMCTO will arrange for the funding contributions from each individual lead municipal applicant and send to MITACs on the municipality's behalf. The review of MITACs applications and administration of funding will follow standard processes by MITACs programs. The review process for MITACs programs is non-competitive. From an evaluation standpoint, applications will be evaluated based on how closely the applicants meet the eligibility criteria, in addition to how closely projects align with MITACs research and innovation program guidelines. For more information or questions about the review and the selection process, please consult page 9 through 12 of the guide. These applications to MITACs will be due August 22nd, 2025. And again, a maximum of 20 programs will be funded by MITACs. So just a few notes, I think, that are sort of worth mentioning here at the end before we move on to Q&A. A reminder too, and I mentioned this earlier, the student is not a municipal employee, so they will be contracted in through the university or college. So ultimately, again, that's ultimately where they'll be getting their pay from, and ultimately where some of those arrangements will be made between the student and the academic advisor. But certainly there will be some connectivity with the student and the municipality as part of the project work. I mentioned this a bit earlier. Students are expected to visit the host municipality a maximum of 4 times, with the costs related to the travel being the responsibility of the student. The only possible exemption there would be as if there is a discussion between the student and the municipality and other arrangements are made for any sort of additional visits. But this program, they're only required to visit a maximum of 4 times. To help contribute to the student experiential learning, AMCTO has provided or will be providing all interns with a special student membership. So with this membership, students will be provided with a conference scholarship, which provides accommodation and registration to our annual conference. They'll be provided with virtual passes to all AMCTO forums, as well as having the opportunity to participate in AMCTO's mentorship program. The approximate value of this student membership is approximately $5,000 for each student, or $100,000 total. In addition to administering this program, this is another way AMCTO is demonstrating our commitment to the next generation of municipal staff. AMCTO will also provide an onboarding webinar in the fall of 2025, and AMCTO and MITACs will conduct evaluations periodically through the internship. So with that is the end of the formal presentation. I do have some next steps to go through at the end, but I'll stop right now and see if there are any questions from anyone.
Question in the Q&A. It says, is this program anticipated to be an annual opportunity, or is it currently a one-time opportunity?
Yeah, great question. So as we sort of outlined earlier in the presentation, it is a one-year program currently agreement between AMCTO and MITACs. However, we want to be able to put sort of our best foot forward during this opportunity to be able to demonstrate the need within the sector, and then bring that business case forward to MITACs for continued funding. But as of right now, it is a one-year program. And I know in talking with JP and with MITACs, I know they're interested in potentially continuing that arrangement. But ultimately, it will depend on overall sort of demand in the project and ultimately available funding from MITACs.
Great. And I see, looks like Mackenzie, you've got your hand up, so I'll just unmute you if you want to ask your question.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. I was typing. I wasn't sure if we were allowed to chat.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
So it sounds like this is the first time this program has been offered.
It is correct.
Okay, so you mentioned that there's only 20 applications. Do you anticipate like how popular or how many applications you will get this year?
That is a great question. We know the sector has been, especially through our membership, has demanding some sort of program. So we are optimistic that we'll get a great response to it, but there's no way to tell for sure at this point how many applications we'll have.
Okay, and one follow-up question then would be, you had mentioned that the student only needs to come for a max of 4 times, but what if you were looking for an intern that was available in person for those 8 months?
Well, ultimately, that would have to be certainly a discussion with the student, but the intention is for that student to be continuing their full-time studies at their institution. So that ultimately wouldn't likely be a possibility for them to work sort of full-time at that municipality as part of that internship. So again, it's not something that we've sort of considered overall as far as in person 100% of the time, because we understand that there's sort of that they're looking to sort of fit that within their regular sort of school opportunity as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And then we've got another question in the chat here from Shrishma. Would there be an opportunity to make this a full-time opportunity if the municipality could provide additional funding?
Hi, Shrishma. Thanks. That's a good question. I think that's probably something we'd have to take back and maybe have a discussion with MITax on, but certainly we can take that back and follow up. It's not something that we've considered as far as a full-time opportunity, but let us sort of take that back and we can provide a response directly to you. Anything else in there, Jacqueline?
I don't see anything else right now, but feel free to either raise your hand or type your question in the Q&A. But if not, we will move on.
Yeah, I'll move on to the next slide and then I'll just check with you at the end just to make sure, see if anybody has anything additional. So on behalf of AMCTO and MITax, I really do want to thank you for joining our webinar today. As you can probably tell, we're pretty excited about the opportunity to be able to sort of contribute to the sector and to again provide these opportunities both for students and municipalities to advance the work. The slides and the recording will be sent to all participants and posted on our website on the webpage in the coming days. As we said before, please share this information with your colleagues in the sector, and we are looking at receiving your project applications by May 9th, 2025 at noon. And as I mentioned before, the potential continuation of a program like this are going to be somewhat dependent on the demand. So ultimately, if we receive lots of applications, then ultimately we're hopeful that we'll be able to demonstrate the need within the sector. So, please communicate that with your colleagues, both within your municipalities and other individuals as well. And finally, if you know of a particular academic institution or program that you would like us to reach out to, please don't hesitate to contact us at amcto@amcto.com. And again, if you do have any questions sort of going forward related to the program, please contact AMCTO, or if you have something specific related to MITax, Sarah Fairley is another individual who's been working on this project along with JP, and her email is listed there as well. So any last questions in there, Jacqueline?
I'm not seeing anything right now. No.
Okay. I'll stop sharing. Again, thank you everyone for the time, and we look forward to seeing lots of applications come in over the coming days. So great. Thanks everyone.